Archangel Michael says, "This is not a drill." Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency." Jesus is calling you to know this secret before tomorrow. If your heart is beating and your soul is open, listen closely, for this moment is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a whisper from heaven wrapped in urgency and love. There are no accidents with God. This moment is on purpose. He sees you, and He is reaching for you, not in anger, but in deep longing, to remind you of what your heart was always meant to remember, His eternal love, His unwavering presence, and the truth that you are never, ever alone. Not even for a second. Type 2323 if you agree. The winds of time are moving faster than they once did, and the world is changing quickly around us. Many hearts feel tired, many souls feel heavy, and many people feel they've lost their way. But even in the middle of that confusion, God is still speaking. He is still calling. And this moment, this quiet, sacred moment, is proof that He has not forgotten about you. In fact, He is closer now than He has ever been, watching your life with eyes full of mercy, and arms wide open, waiting for your heart to turn toward Him. Somewhere, deep inside, you felt it, that gentle pull, that soft stirring in your spirit that no words can quite explain. It's not fear. It's not anxiety. It's something holier. It's the sound of heaven calling your name in a language only your soul can understand. That quiet voice that tells you, "Come home. Come back. I've missed you. I never stopped loving you." That voice is not a memory. That voice is not imagination. That voice is Jesus. Jesus does not speak through thunder or demand with force. He whispers in the cracks of our ordinary days, in the silence of our thoughts, and in the ache of our longing. When life becomes too loud to hear Him, He does not walk away. He waits. He sits beside you in your sorrow, stands behind you in your fear, and holds you even when you feel too broken to be held. He never leaves. He never changes. And He never gives up on you. The truth He wants you to know, the secret He is calling you to understand before tomorrow, is this: there is still time. No matter what you've done, no matter how far you've wandered, no matter how deep the pain or how wide the distance, there is still time to come back. There is still a way to be restored. There is still grace, still healing, still freedom, still forgiveness, and still an open door with your name written across it in love. This is not about religion. This is not about rules. This is not about being good enough or having your life together. This is about Jesus. This is about a heart that was broken on a cross so yours could be healed. This is about a love so fierce, so sacred, so complete, that it defeated death just to find you again. It's about the God who created every star and still chooses to chase your heart with tenderness and devotion. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. Right now, the world is filled with noise, endless opinions, distractions, darkness, and things that drain your spirit. But none of it can compare to the still, small voice of Jesus, who is saying, "Let me in. I want to carry this with you. I want to be your peace. I want to be your strength. I want to walk this life with you, step by step, moment by moment." He sees every part of you, your fears, your doubts, your anger, your regrets, and he still says, "You are worth saving." He sees the tears you never showed anyone. He hears the prayers you barely had the words to speak. He knows the battles you've been fighting quietly and the ones that left you feeling like there's nothing left inside. And still, he says, "You are mine. You are chosen. You are not forgotten." Type 1111 if you trust in God. This emergency is not about fear, it's about awakening. It's about shaking the dust off your heart and remembering that you were made for more. It's about stepping out of the fog and realizing that even now, God's plan for you is alive and beautiful. There is a deeper purpose for your life, one that no darkness can erase and no mistake can undo. It is written by the hand of a loving Savior who is calling your name. This invitation is not just for the holy or the perfect, it's for the weary, the lost, the hurting, the ashamed, the doubting, and the broken. It's for anyone who has ever felt like giving up. It's for you. Jesus is calling not to shame you, but to restore you. Not to judge you, but to heal you. Not to remind you of your failures, but to cover you in mercy and start again. So, breathe. Let go of the fear that holds your heart in chains. Let go of the lies that say you've gone too far. None of it is true. If you still have breath in your lungs, you still have hope. And if you still have hope, then miracles are still possible, and grace is still waiting, and the arms of Jesus are still open, reaching for you, right now, in this very moment. This is not a story of endings, it is a story of beginnings. It is the moment your spirit remembers who you are and whose you are. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the things that tried to break you. You are loved. You are held. You are called. And Jesus is the one who will never let go. He is waiting. Not with anger. Not with disappointment. But with tears in his eyes and joy in his heart, because he knows the beauty that is ahead when you simply say yes to him. Let today be the day your heart softens again, the day your soul finds its home again, the day the secret you were meant to know becomes the truth that sets you free. Type 222 if you know Jesus is real. He knows the weight your soul has carried. He knows what it's like to feel like no one understands the battles inside you. Sometimes, you show the world a smile, but underneath, you're holding back tears that haven't been seen, pain that hasn't been spoken, and prayers that sound more like silent cries. Jesus hears them all. He never looks away. Every quiet ache, every hidden scar, every tired breath, you don't have to explain it to him. He already knows. And more than knowing, he cares. That is the beauty of who Jesus is. He is not distant. He is not far. He is not waiting for you to be perfect before he steps in. He comes close in your brokenness. He walks into the mess. He sits with you in the chaos and gently reaches for your heart with hands full of grace. He doesn't demand you fix everything first, he simply says, "Let me be with you. Let me carry what's too heavy. Let me bring peace where there's pain." You are not alone, no matter how loud the silence has felt. Sometimes, it's hard to see God when life feels heavy. The world can harden us, disappoint us, bruise us. But even in that, especially in that, Jesus is near. When your strength fades, he becomes your strength. When your heart breaks, he becomes your healer. When everything feels uncertain, he becomes your anchor, firm and unshakable. There is something sacred about letting go. Not giving up, but giving over. Surrendering the fear. Releasing the pressure. Handing over the hurt that has lived in your soul too long. When you do that, you make space for Jesus to step in and begin restoring the parts of you that you thought were lost forever. That is what he does. He takes ashes and brings beauty. He takes tears and gives joy. He takes shame and gives forgiveness. He takes what was meant to destroy you and turns it into a testimony of grace. And the most beautiful part of all is that he does it gently. Jesus never forces himself into your life. He knocks softly. He calls your name in love. He waits with patience that only heaven understands. But when you open the door, even just a little, he floods in with light so tender, so healing, that it changes everything. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It doesn't matter how far you feel you've wandered. When Jesus enters your heart, time bends to his mercy and eternity begins to breathe in your soul. Type 555 to say yes to his love. There's a reason you are reading this. Heaven sees you. This is not random. It's not by chance. This is the moment God placed in your path to remind you that your story is not finished. The battles you've fought, the nights you've cried, the questions you've carried, they are not ignored. They are known by God. And he is using this exact moment to remind you that his love for you is still stronger than anything that has come against you. Let the tears fall if they come. Let your heart open if it's ready. Don't hold back. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to lean into the one who does. Jesus will meet you in the middle of it. He isn't asking you to be fearless, he's asking you to be honest. He can work with honesty. He can breathe life into surrender. He can take your smallest step toward him and turn it into a miracle. The struggles you've faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. And yes, miracles still happen. Even now. Even here. You may not see them at first, but they begin the moment you let Jesus hold your heart. Miracles don't always look like thunder or flashes of light, they often look like peace where there was once fear, joy where there was sorrow, a soft smile returning after years of pain, or a moment of rest where anxiety used to live. These are not small things. These are holy things. These are the quiet, powerful movements of heaven working inside of you. Don't let the world convince you that you are too damaged to be healed. Don't believe the lie that you are too late, too lost, or too far gone. There is no such thing in the language of Jesus. With him, everything broken can be restored. Every wrong can be redeemed. Every heart can be made whole again. He calls you beloved. He calls you chosen. He calls you his. That's what this moment is about. Not fear. Not pressure. But love. A kind of love that goes deeper than anything this world has ever offered. A love that doesn't change with your emotions or your mistakes. A love that stays. A love that holds you even when you don't feel worthy. That is Jesus. That is who he is. And when he says, "Come to me," he isn't saying it with judgment. He's saying it with tears in his eyes, arms open wide, like a father who has missed his child. He is saying, "Let me be your home. Let me be your peace. Let me remind you who you are." This is the emergency heaven sees, not because you're failing, but because God sees how deeply you need to know this truth. You are not alone, and you never were. Type 1919 to receive miracles from the Lord. Jesus sees what no one else can. He sees the sleepless nights, the weight you try to hide behind smiles, the questions that echo in your mind when everything around you is quiet. You may have been holding it all together on the outside, but Jesus knows the quiet breaking on the inside. He doesn't turn away from it. He steps closer to it. He comes not to scold, but to soothe. Not to burden, but to lift. Not to demand, but to give. And what he offers is unlike anything this world could ever promise. He gives peace, not the kind that comes and goes, but the kind that stays even when nothing else makes sense. He gives grace, not because you earned it, but because he loves you too much to leave you drowning in shame. And he gives hope, not a fragile one, but a hope that stands like a lighthouse in the middle of your darkest storm. Many people walk through life trying to earn love, trying to prove their worth, trying to find a place where they finally feel like they belong. But the truth is, you already belong. You belong to the one who made you. You belong to the God who breathed life into your soul. You belong to the Savior who stretched out his arms in suffering just so he could wrap them around you in healing. There's a reason your heart is still beating. There's a reason you're still here. It's not an accident. It's not random. There's a divine purpose resting over your life, and no mistake, no failure, no wound can erase it. The enemy may have tried to silence your song, steal your joy, and break your spirit, but God is not done. He is rewriting the ending. He is speaking life where there was death. He is reminding your soul that this is not over. So many people think they have to fix themselves before they can come to God. But that is the opposite of his invitation. Jesus says, "Come as you are. Come tired. Come bruised. Come confused. Come empty. Just come." Because when you come to him, he does the healing. He does the restoring. He does the renewing. Your only job is to surrender, to open the door, and let him in. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, not by sight. There is something sacred that happens when you let go of trying to carry it all alone. When you stop pretending to be strong and finally admit you need help. Jesus isn't disappointed when you do that. He rejoices. Because he knows that's where the miracle begins. That's when the healing starts. That's when his love begins to wash over the deepest places in you, the places that have been hurting for years, the places you forgot even existed. You may think your heart is too heavy, your past too dark, or your soul too tired to receive him. But you are exactly who he came for. The lost. The weary. The ones who feel too far. That's who Jesus came to rescue. Not the perfect, not the powerful, but the broken. He takes the shattered pieces and creates something more beautiful than what existed before. He doesn't just fix you, he makes you new. The secret he wants you to know before tomorrow isn't wrapped in mystery. It's not locked away. It's this simple, breathtaking truth: you are loved with a love that cannot be measured, cannot be explained, and cannot be taken away. A love that followed you into every valley, that waited at every crossroad, that whispered through every storm. A love that has never given up on you, not once. And now, in this moment, Jesus is calling you into that love. Not because he needs you to be something else, but because he wants to give you what you've been searching for all along: peace, purpose, belonging, and life that is full and whole and eternal. Not someday. Not far away. But here. Now. He is standing at the door of your heart. Not pounding, not shouting. Just waiting. With love in his eyes and mercy in his hands. Waiting for the moment when you'll let him in, when you'll whisper, yes, when you'll trade your sorrow for his peace, your confusion for his clarity, your fear for his shelter. And when you do, when you say yes, everything begins to shift. Not all at once. Not like lightning. But like dawn. Softly. Gently. The darkness fades. The light returns. And your soul, which once felt lost, starts to remember what it was made for. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This is the moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Readiness isn't required, willingness is. Just open your heart, even a little. Jesus will meet you right there, in that tiny opening, and he will do what only he can do: love you back to life. This is the calling. This is the invitation. This is the holy whisper in your spirit that says, you are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are still mine. And so, as the hours pass and the world continues to spin, let this message wrap around your heart like a promise. You are not alone. You are deeply, completely, eternally loved. Not because of what you've done, but because of who he is. And who he is everything your soul has ever longed for. Type yes to affirm that you receive his love. Somewhere along the way, life may have made you feel forgotten. Maybe people let you down, maybe prayers went unanswered in ways you didn't understand, maybe pain lingered longer than you thought it would. That quiet ache in your chest, that silent wondering if you were truly seen, it has not gone unnoticed. Jesus was there in every one of those moments, not looking down from a distance, but standing beside you, weeping when you wept, holding your spirit when your strength gave out, and waiting patiently for you to hear his voice again. The world teaches us to keep moving, to stay strong, to figure it out on our own. But heaven speaks a different language, one of rest, surrender, and mercy. Jesus doesn't ask you to fix yourself before coming to him. He only asks that you let him come close. He is not waiting for perfection. He is waiting for permission. Permission to enter your weary heart, to breathe peace into your anxious thoughts, to remind you of who you are beyond the hurt, beyond the fear, beyond the mistakes. A powerful 9-word prayer once classified by secret agencies has now leaked, and it's quietly rewriting destinies. In under 30 seconds, it reprograms the mind to attract wealth and dissolve scarcity. Users are reporting surprise income, restored hope, and financial peace. But this page might be deleted at any time. Click the link now before it's taken down without warning. And if you let him, if you make space for him, he will come. Not with judgment, not with punishment, but with healing in his hands and gentleness in his voice. He does not accuse. He invites. He does not condemn. He comforts. He does not turn away. He kneels beside you and calls you beloved, even when you feel unworthy, even when the world has made you believe you are not enough. So many people feel like they have to carry everything on their own, the weight of their past, the pressure of their present, and the fear of their future. But Jesus never intended for you to live that way. He said, "Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest." And he meant it. The rest your soul longs for isn't found in success, or relationships, or trying harder, it's found in him. It's found in laying down what you were never meant to carry and letting his love take over. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with your whole heart. This is the invitation Jesus brings you today, not to a religion, not to a set of rules, but to a relationship. One where you are known fully and loved completely. One where you don't have to hide. One where you can be honest about your fears, your questions, your regrets, and still be held without shame. Jesus doesn't need you to be strong. He needs you to be real. He can work with real. He can pour grace into broken places, and he can turn your deepest wounds into a well of healing for others. You may feel like you've wandered too far or that you've waited too long, but Jesus does not measure time the way we do. He sees your heart, and he knows the exact moment it turns back toward him. And when it does, he doesn't hesitate. He runs to you. Like a father seeing his child on the horizon, he runs, arms wide, heart open, joy flooding his face, not because you're perfect, but because you're his. There is no distance too great for his mercy to reach. No darkness too deep for his light to enter. No mistake too big for his grace to cover. Every part of you, the beautiful, the broken, the burdened, is welcome in his presence. You don't have to earn that. You just have to receive it. That is the gift of Jesus. That is the secret heaven wants you to know before tomorrow. You don't have to live one more day feeling unloved, unseen, or unworthy. The truth is already written, you are God's child, and he is calling you home. Let this message be your turning point. Let it be the moment when something shifts, when the lies begin to lose their grip, when your soul begins to rise again. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to know that Jesus understands you. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to rest in the one who does. And He is here. He is ready. He is reaching. It's not too late. You are not too far. You have not missed your chance. This is your moment, the one heaven prepared in love, the one Jesus stepped into with compassion, the one your spirit has been longing for in silence. Let it be the moment you say yes. Let it be the beginning of healing, the beginning of peace, the beginning of a life anchored not in fear or striving, but in the love that never fails. Breathe. Rest. Let go. Jesus is not asking you to walk this road alone. He never has. He never will. He is not waiting for you to be better. He is waiting to be invited in. And when you let Him in, everything changes, not always immediately, not always visibly, but always deeply. The peace comes. The purpose awakens. The wounds begin to close. And your heart begins to beat in time with heaven again. Type Amen if you believe Jesus has already made a way for you. You were never meant to walk this life alone, even though many days may have felt like you had to. The truth is, while the world moved on and the noise kept rising, Jesus stayed close, never missing a step, never letting go. He has walked beside you in the moments you forgot how to pray, and He's held your heart together when you thought it might break. His silence was never absence. His stillness was never neglect. It was His patient, unfailing love waiting for you to look up and remember you are not forgotten. Sometimes, it's not the loud storms that wear us down, it's the quiet ones. The silent struggles. The hidden exhaustion. The grief that doesn't have words. The guilt that lingers long after the world has moved on. But Jesus sees it all, and He calls you by name through it all. Not to point out where you failed, but to lift you from the weight you've carried too long. There is no weakness in needing help. There is no shame in needing grace. That is what the cross was for, to carry what you could not, and to give back the peace you lost. Jesus didn't come just to rescue us from eternal separation. He came to walk through life with us. To step into our mess, our confusion, our uncertainty. He came to bring heaven into the middle of earth's heartbreaks. And He's doing that right now, through these words, in your soul, with a love that doesn't ask you to earn it, only to receive it. Type 222 if you feel the presence of God calling your name today. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brain wave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. The world has taught us to chase after everything but God. We've been told that worth comes from achievement, beauty, approval, and success. But all of those things eventually fade. The one thing that stays is the love of Jesus. When the applause quiets, when the masks fall, when the night is long, He stays. Let that truth settle in your heart right now. Jesus is not tired of you. He is not tired of your doubts, your fears, or the questions you still haven't figured out. He is not weary of your tears or impatient with your healing. He sees your progress, even when you don't. He values your small steps, even when they feel invisible. He celebrates every breath that leans toward Him, and He wraps His arms around every broken piece with tenderness. This is the kind of love that doesn't come and go. This is not conditional. It does not depend on your behavior or your performance. It is constant. It is fierce. It is tender. And it is waiting for you, not in some distant future, but now. Jesus didn't ask for cleaned-up hearts. He asked for open ones. And when you give Him yours, no matter how fragile it may feel, He begins to restore it, one soft breath at a time. Many people spend their whole lives searching for peace, unaware that peace has already been searching for them. His name is Jesus. And He is the answer to the ache in your chest that nothing else has been able to fill. The miracle is not in finally being strong enough. The miracle is in letting Him carry you when you're not. That's where healing begins. That's where chains break. That's where freedom finds its way back into your soul. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to fix your past. You don't even need to understand why certain things happened. You only need to trust that Jesus can take every broken moment and somehow, with His love, make it beautiful again. He does not waste your pain. He does not ignore your prayers. He collects your tears like treasure and calls them precious. You matter more than you realize. Your story is not too messy for God. Your heart is not too far. You have not missed your moment. This, right now, is a sacred turning point. One where heaven bends low, and Jesus speaks gently into the deepest places of your soul, saying, I'm still here. I've always been here. And I'm not going anywhere. Let that love meet you where you are. Not where you wish you were. Not where you used to be. But right here, right now. In your exhaustion, your wondering, your silence. Let Him in. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to say the right words. Just open your heart, even a little, and He will flood it with peace that goes beyond understanding. This is the secret that changes everything, not a secret to keep hidden, but one to finally remember. That Jesus isn't waiting for a better version of you. He's waiting for your heart, just as it is. And when you give it to Him, He will show you what love truly looks like. Type 1111 if you trust in God's perfect plan for you. Maybe you felt distant from God, not out of rebellion, but simply because life has been hard. You've been surviving, trying to make it through each day, carrying quiet burdens that others don't see. Maybe you've smiled on the outside while your spirit was breaking inside. Or maybe you felt numb, disconnected, unsure what you believe anymore. If that's you, know this, Jesus understands. He knows how heavy the days can feel. And He is not ashamed of you. He is not disappointed. He is not turning away. He is drawing closer. He is calling you, not because you failed, but because you belong. Not because you're in trouble, but because he misses you. Jesus doesn't reach for the strongest, he reaches for the willing. Even if your willingness is barely a whisper. Even if your faith feels as small as a flicker. He honors that. He meets you in that. And he gently reminds you that you are still his. So many of us carry wounds that we never asked for. Words spoken over us that cut deep. Experiences that changed us. Moments that made us question our worth. But Jesus is the healer of all wounds, even the ones we don't talk about. Especially those. He sees every scar on your heart, and instead of turning away, he kneels beside you, with eyes full of compassion, and says, "Let me heal that." There is no wound too deep for him. No sin too great. No loss too final. Jesus came not to shame the broken, but to restore them. He came not to lecture the weary, but to carry them. He came not to demand strength from the weak, but to give his strength in exchange for your surrender. His love doesn't make sense in the world's way of thinking. It's not earned, it's given. Not because of who you are, but because of who he is. Type 555 if you receive his mercy over your life today. There's something beautiful that happens when you let go of the pressure to be perfect and instead allow Jesus to love you as you are. The world says, be more. Do more. Prove yourself. But Jesus says, come to me. Rest. Let me show you who you are. And who you are is not forgotten. Who you are is not a mistake. Who you are is not defined by your past or the pain you carry. Who you are is chosen, loved, redeemed, and seen. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. God doesn't just love some future version of you. He loves you right now, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the healing, in the middle of your questions. He isn't waiting for you to get it all right. He's walking with you as you figure it out, step by step, breath by breath. That's what grace looks like. It walks beside you. It lifts you up when you fall. It holds you together when everything else is falling apart. Maybe you've been afraid to fully surrender, because you're not sure what that would look like. Maybe you've trusted before and been hurt. Maybe you've been let down by people who claim to speak for God, but acted without love. If that's your story, hear this: Jesus is not like the ones who hurt you. He is kind. He is gentle. He is safe. He does not manipulate. He does not force. He does not abandon. He is the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one. And if you're that one today, know that he has never stopped searching for your heart. This is not about joining a church or checking off a list. This is about a living Savior who wants to be with you in every moment of your life. Not just the holy ones. Not just the joyful ones. But also the quiet, ordinary, and painful ones. Jesus wants to sit with you in your sadness. He wants to walk with you in your struggle. He wants to laugh with you in your joy. He wants to be the one constant when everything else changes. Because life does change. People leave. Plans fall apart. Dreams shift. But Jesus? He stays. He stays when it's hard. He stays when you doubt. He stays when you feel lost. And the more you let Him in, the more you will begin to feel the warmth of His presence in the places you thought were too cold to ever come back to life. That's the miracle, life returning to the places you thought were dead. Hope rising where you only felt despair. Peace settling into corners of your soul that have been filled with worry for far too long. This is what happens when Jesus enters in. Not always loudly. Not always with flashes of light. But deeply. Gently. Truly. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. The enemy may have tried to convince you that your best days are behind you, but Jesus says the best is yet to come. Because the best is not found in a perfect life, it's found in Him. And He is always moving, always loving, always redeeming. Type 1212 if you choose to walk by faith and not by sight today. There's nothing more powerful than the gentle pull of God's Spirit calling you home, not to a place, but to a person. Jesus isn't asking you to follow rules or meet impossible expectations. He's not pointing a finger. He's opening His arms. He wants your heart, not your perfection. He wants your honesty, not your performance. He wants you, just as you are, not how the world told you you should be. Many of us carry guilt for things we don't talk about. We replay past mistakes, conversations we wish had gone differently, seasons of life where we lost ourselves. We wonder if God still wants us after all of that. And the answer, quietly and unwaveringly, is yes. Jesus already paid the cost for every sin, every failure, every wound. He didn't do it with hesitation. He did it with joy because you were worth it to Him. And you still are. Even now, if all you feel is a faint flicker of hope, that's enough for Him to work with. He can take that flicker and turn it into a flame. He can take your questions and hold them gently until trust starts to grow again. You don't have to know exactly what to say. You don't need a polished prayer or the right words. All He's asking for is your heart, even in its fragile, messy, broken condition. Jesus is the healer of hearts, not the judge of them. He comes with compassion, not condemnation. And in the quiet of this moment, He's not shouting or demanding. He's whispering, "Let me in. Let me help. Let me carry what you were never meant to bear alone." There is something deeply healing about being fully seen and still fully loved. That's what Jesus offers. He sees the parts of you no one else sees. The tears you hide, the anger you bury, the hope you try to protect because it's been shattered before. He sees it all. And still, He stays. Still, He calls you precious. Still, He wants you close. This is what the enemy never wanted you to know, that you are not too far gone, not too broken, not too late. That God's love doesn't run out when you mess up. That your story can be rewritten, not erased, but redeemed, with every scar turned into something sacred. Every hurt becomes a place where His love can pour in. Every fall becomes a chance for His mercy to lift you. Type 222 if your heart is ready for healing today. Healing may not come all at once. It may not look like what you imagined. But it begins here, in surrender. In the quiet choice to stop running, stop hiding, and let Jesus do what only He can do. His love is not a reward for good behavior. His love is the starting place for restoration. You don't change so that God will love you. You change because He already does. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. Amen.